Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ryan Retro channel. So picture this scene, you're playing a game on one of your favorite handhelds, making your way through the game, winning some Pokemon battles, you throw down a save file, and you decide that you want to continue playing your game on your laptop. Or you just simply load up that recent save, and you're right back into the game again, right where you just finished on your handheld. You level up your Pokemon a little bit more, and throw down another save file again, and maybe this time you want to carry on a handheld again, but maybe this time you want to use a bigger handheld. You can once again carry on right where you left off on the previous device. Whenever you press a button, it automatically recognizes the controller you're using, you're straight back into the game, playing again in a matter of seconds. You can carry on going through the game. If you watch my recent video about docks, you can also dock your handheld to a TV and connect an external controller, and then you can carry on the TV using your external controller as well. You can play on smaller handhelds, dual screen handhelds, so you can watch Ryan Retro videos at the same time. You can play on your phone with touch controls, and of course can add a controller as well, which will automatically be recognized and start working right away with no setup. It supports autosave, it supports retro achievements, it has a few built-in shaders, so you can get that cool CRT TV look. It's so good and so simple to use. So let me head over to the computer now and show you why I think this is awesome. So this is Koin by the Retro Saga, and I've been using this since all the way back in December. It's a website that you can run in any web browser on any of your devices and just jump straight into your games. It's super easy to just load up one of your save files. It automatically recognizes any controller you're using, whether it's a keyboard, a mouse, the Bluetooth controller, the built-in controller on your handheld. It just recognizes them right away and synchronizes your games, your save files, your BIOS files all across your devices. Let's look across the panel down here and see what options we have. There aren't too many, it's very simple. So we have the pause and resume button if you'd like to pause your game and carry on later. We have reset, which is the same as pressing the hardware restart button on the console. So it's going to restart the game. We have a simple speed control to choose between 1x speed or 2x speed. Although 2x speed actually looks like about 100 times speed. I'm not sure it's actually 2 times. We also have a rewind button, which I haven't been able to get to work in any emulator yet. We have our volume control, including a mute button. We have our save slots here, and we have 4 save slots for every game, and an autosave slot. Here is the autosave timer. You will see it filling up this circle, and once the circle finishes filling up, it will replace your most recent autosave. I like to actually click this button and turn it off, so I don't accidentally overwrite my autosave. And also on some systems, the game lags for a split second when it autosaves. So I like to turn that off so I never get any lag, and I can control myself when I throw down a save file. But if you're the kind of person who might forget to save every now and again, this is a super handy feature. Just tap it to turn it on, and it will also be on by default every time, just to make sure you've got a backup to come back to later. We then have our load button, where you can load one of your save slots. We have a snap button to take a little screenshot, which will automatically download. So we can open that up and look at this cute little guy. Next to the screenshot button, we have a recording button. Clicking that will start video recording. We'll get a nice little timer at the top right of the screen. Then as we move around and play our game, it's going to be recording our actions. So this is a very simple way to share some moments with your friends. You don't need to download and install any kind of extra screen recording app. You can just play your game. Then when you're done, hit the stop and download button. It will instantly download the file. Unfortunately, it's a WebM file, which can be a bit tricky to open. But we can use something like VLC Media Player here, which I'm using to play this file. And here's my gaming moment I can share with my friends. Next up, we have the shaders button. We have 4 shaders to pick from. CRT Lotties, which looks like this. Very reminiscent of the old TV I used to play on as a kid. CRT Easy, which has those nice scan lines, but without the curved corners. CRT Geom, which has the curved corners and scan lines, but is more clear, less blurry than the first CRT option. And then LCD Grid, which doesn't seem to be working right now, at least for this specific game. Whenever we change the shader, we then need to restart the game by clicking the reset button down here and loading up a recent save. Then we'll be playing with our new shader. I really like this CRT Lotties shader, but I usually just play without any. Next we have the help button, which will show some shortcuts we can use to toggle mute, toggle recording, and see what buttons we need to press to control our games. We have the full screen button, which is pretty self-explanatory. It will take us into full screen mode. My mouse cursor has now disappeared as I have a full screen immersive experience. I can use my keyboard to control the game, and I can press the escape button to get out of full screen mode. Next up we have keys, which will show us what buttons we need to press in the specific system. So these buttons are what we'll use in the Game Gear system that I'm playing right now. If I was playing a Game Boy game, you would see different buttons here. Next up we have the gamepad detection button. If your gamepad wasn't automatically detected, you can press this button, and now it's in gamepad detection mode. So I just connected my 8BitDo Ultimate Wireless Controller via Bluetooth, and if I just press any button on that now, it will immediately show up and change that to Player 1. It will show the buttons I need to press to control the game, and just like that, I'm now controlling the game with my controller instead of the keyboard. Next up we have the cheats menu. I've not found any actual working cheats for any games yet, but if you do find some online, you can copy and paste the code into here, give it a name if you want, and click add cheat, and it will add the cheat to the game just like that, and you can toggle on and off the cheats at will. You will see little notifications telling you they've been enabled or disabled. We then have retro achievements, so you can sign into your retro achievements here. This is something I've still never done and seriously need to get into. So try that out and see if you can get some achievements in game. And then finally we have settings, which is the simplest settings menu you're ever going to find. All you have is a choice of 3 languages, English, Spanish and French, and whether you want haptic feedback on your controller or not. That's it. And that's all the settings we get across the game. Other things you'll see are the performance mode. Up here is standard, and there's also high performance. This will be done for you. There's nothing you need to do here. And then we just have the exit game button, or you can simply press the back button at the top left of the screen. So on the left side of the screen, you have your overview, which shows you a little bit of everything. You'll see how many games you have, how many save files you have, how many times you've played. You can upload new ROMs, manage your save files, browse the database, quickly jump back into a game you played recently. Your favorites will go here if you add a game to your favorites. Your recents are over here. It's a little bit messy, so I don't tend to use this screen. I tend to use the left panel. On the left panel, you have your library split up by system. So you can quickly jump into your Game Boy games or your Nintendo DS games. If you want to add a game to your favorites, you simply just click the favorite button. On the left side of the screen, if you come down to saves, here you can access your recent save files. And this is how I tend to use the app. I tend to just come into the save menu here, click on a save I want to continue, and then I'm right back into my game again where I left off on any of my devices. I think being able to continue like this right where you were on any of your devices is what makes this website so awesome. Next on the left-hand panel we have favorites, where we can find our favorite games, like that Pokemon Red that I just added a moment ago, and jump into those quickly. As the game loads up, again, if we want to, we can add one of the CRT shaders, reset the game, load one of our previous save files, and we're ready to play. We can go back out of that once we're done. On that left-hand panel, we then have our BIOS files. So for example, Sony PlayStation will need a BIOS file, so I've added one here. You can simply just find them on your computer and drag them in. Next up, we have community. Here is where we can search for community-made games. Right now, there are 339 games available, and if you find one that you like, you can simply just press the import button, and it will be added to your library. So if I come over to my library, here's the game, and I can just start playing it. Just like that, I'm playing this game, which seems to be some kind of Frogger style game. We also have folders, so we can create our own game folders if we'd like. For example, I could create a Pokemon folder and make it red. We have a search bar at the top of the screen, so I could search for the word Pokemon and find all of my Pokemon games, hit the 3 dots on one of them, move to folder, and choose my Pokemon folder. And now this Pokemon White version that I just added to the Pokemon folder will still show up in its system, Nintendo DS, but it will also now show in my Pokemon folder. On the left side of the screen, I come to Folders, Pokemon, and now I have that Pokemon White version. So if I were to add all of my Pokemon games into this folder, this is a quick way to just access my Pokemon games. Once you've got things set up like I have with various systems, various games, and various folders, it could not be easier to switch between them and just play whatever you fancy on any of your devices. So how do you set this up? How much does it cost? How easy is it to get going? Let's go through all of that right now. I'll log out of the website, so it's like I'm starting all over again, and you'll see the first thing that we can actually do is test the game engine. Down here there's a test the engine instant demo button. So you can click on that, press play, and now you can access all of the features playing a game of the classic Flappy Bird. You can press the keys button to see what buttons you need to press. So it looks like I need to press the arrow buttons, X and Z. Let's make it full screen and let's see how I do. Here I come. I'm flapping along. Excellent. Try again. Excellent. So this is how you could try it for yourself, see if it works on whatever system you're using, make sure that everything functions properly. Apparently my brain and fingers are not functioning properly. But just go to the website, try out this Flappy Bird demo, see if you can beat my incredible score of 1. And if everything is working okay, then you may want to set this up for yourself. So let's sign up. You can sign up with an email address or with Google. I would recommend just using Google because it's nice and easy. So after creating your account, you'll see a screen that looks like this, saying you should start your collection by uploading your first ROM. As it says, you should upload your legally owned ROMs to back up and begin building your personal arcade. Any ROM you upload here will be shared across all of your devices. It will be held in the cloud by Koin, so you only need to upload your ROMs just one time and then you can play them across all your devices. So click upload your first ROM and it will show you the kinds of ROMs you can upload. Now with a free account, you have access to NES, Game Boy, Genesis, Master System and Atari 2600. There are a lot more you can unlock if you pay for a paid subscription. But even with no payment whatsoever, we get access to these 5 systems completely for free. And you can mix all of them at once. You don't need to upload NES and then Game Boy and then Genesis and then Master System. You can just grab all of them and throw them in here at once and it will automatically sort them out for you. I will click the button here and choose a Game Boy game and click open. It's going to search its database for the game and you can pick the one that matches in order to get box art. Now, the one that I chose is not actually either of these games. It's a more obscure tennis game. So I'm going to click skip no match. If you upload a more popular game like a Pokemon game, you're likely to find a good match and get box art loaded for you. Let's click upload one file. That will upload in probably about 1 second because it's a tiny 32 kilobyte game, and then click done. Now you've got a game loaded, ready to play across every single device you own that has a web browser. I can click this right now and play this on my computer. It will automatically recognize any controller that's connected and start working right away. It will start auto-saving. Everything just works immediately, and this is completely free. So without any real difficult setup needed whatsoever, in a matter of minutes, I'm playing a game that I can synchronize across all of my devices for free, which I think is great. So I think you guys should try this out. Now let's see what you can get if you pay a bit of money. So at the top left of the screen, we can click here where it says I am an 8-bit member. There's 8-bit, which is the free membership, 16-bit, which is $6 a month, and Arcade, which is $12 a month. Now, I do also want to point out that you can pay a lifetime fee of $199, which is of course quite steep of a price, but it is nice to have the option of a one-time payment, because I know most of us are not a fan of yet another subscription model. This is a cloud-based system, meaning it's hosting your files, so it does make sense to have a monthly payment, because they are going to have some costs hosting your files, especially with the Arcade package where you have unlimited ROM uploads. I do think cloud systems make sense to have a payment structure, but it's nice that we do have the option for one-time payment and we have the completely free option as well. So let's scroll down and see the full differences between the free version, the $6 version, and the $12 version. So the $3 version, you can upload up to 3 ROMs, and each game can have 1 save state. For $6 a month, you get 25 ROM uploads and 5 save slots per game. For the Arcade option, you get unlimited ROM uploads and unlimited save slots. All 3 of them will synchronize your games across the cloud, which is fantastic. In the free tier, you get access to NES, Game Boy, Genesis, and we saw there were also a couple of others like Atari and Master System. In the paid options, you also get SNES, GBA, PlayStation 1, N64, and in the highest tier, you also get Neo Geo, Arcade, PC Engine, and there are actually a lot more than this. The free option has 5 systems, the $6 option has 11, and the $12 option, which I'm paying for, actually has 25 systems, and I'll show you all of those in a minute. You can join NetPlay sessions with any of the tiers, but if you want to host a NetPlay session, you need to be on one of the paid tiers. All tiers get access to game archives, cheats databases, maps and guides, and only the highest option will get early access features. I do have to say, I think this pricing structure is very fair. I think being able to play 3 ROMs with 1 save state, cloud synced forever for free is really, really nice. And I don't think the pricing is too bad. The $6 tier will be more than enough for most people. Being able to play up to 25 ROMs at a time with 5 save slots, all the main systems included, I think $6 a month is pretty nice. I'm paying $12 a month because I think it's really cool. And then of course you could also pay yearly and save 17%. So it would go down from $6 a month to $5 a month, and down from $12 a month to $10 a month, which would be $120 a year. And if after 1 year you really liked it, it would probably be worth just paying for the lifetime support. So let me now switch over to my main account where I'm paying for the arcade membership, and you'll see all the systems we can upload games for. So here I am back on my main account again with the arcade membership. And here if I come to upload ROM, you will see I have this huge range of ROMs I can upload. We have NES, SNES, N64, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, DS, Virtual Boy, Saturn, Genesis, Master System, Game Gear, PlayStation 1, PC Engine, Neo Geo, Neo Geo Pocket, Neo Geo Pocket Color, Lynx, Atari 5200, Atari 2600, Atari 7800, WonderSwan Color, Arcade, and C64. That is a huge range of games. That's more than I would possibly need when it comes to retro gaming. Games have to be a maximum of 100 megabytes per file, which for these systems, they should be under that easily. You can upload up to 50 of your ROMs at once. Zip files are supported, and all files will be extracted automatically. So that means you can upload all of your games across any of these systems, and it will automatically extract the zip file, move it into the right place in the library, search for box art to see if it can see any matching ones. So here, for example, in my Game Boy folder, I've actually mixed all different games together. We've got Game Boy games, SNES games, Game Boy Advance games. It's all over the place. If I just grab all of them and throw them in here, it's going to automatically allocate the system that they are. We can click the match button next to each game and find a match for the game. Clicking on that will then apply the box art for us. So I'll just go through quickly and match each of these, which should not take very long. These are not all perfect matches, but just for demonstration purposes, let's click upload 5 files. It will do it very quickly because these are all very small files. And then after about 5 seconds, I've got all my games added to my systems, and I'm ready to jump into even more games. And as I showed you in the beginning of the video, we can very quickly continue these games across any of our devices super simply. I know you're looking at my screen right now and you can't see me physically, but right now I'm using my 8BitDo Ultimate Controller to control the game. I'm now putting the controller down, and now I'm using my keyboard to control the game. I'm pressing the Z button on my keyboard to drive the car instead of the 8BitDo controller. It just seamlessly switches between controllers without us needing to change any settings. And just to recap the other features that I went over before at the beginning of the video and throughout, it's auto-saving for us every 10 or 20 seconds. We can easily throw down our own save files. We can load previous save files. We can quickly take a snapshot or a screen recording to share with others, and very quickly run over police officers before they catch us. We can apply various shaders to make it look like how we remember the games back in the day and make things, let's face it, cooler looking. We can easily go into full screen mode, which will hide the cursor on the screen and give us an immersive experience. We can easily add cheats. We can add retro achievements. And best of all, we can very easily continue from our save files absolutely anywhere by just looking through our save manager here, clicking on a game that we want to continue, and just getting through our games no matter where we are, no matter what device we're using. It just makes retro gaming really accessible and starts all the way from free. This is not a sponsored video. I realize I'm talking as if this is a sponsored video, but it's not. The Discord channel for the Retro Saga is really small. There's only about 75 members in there right now. So hopefully you guys don't go and overload their servers of the website. This is a website I just stumbled across last December when looking for an easy way to play my games when I visited my family. I ended up not really using it that much because I just was spending time with my family, but I would like to share this with you guys because I think it's cool and I hope you can get some use out of a website like this or a similar one. If you know other similar ones, please let me know. I would love to compare them and show more in the future, and I hope this was useful. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. If it was, please give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm sure it won't be long before we're saying hello again.